and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
This is Joseph Newland.
And my name is Eric Mendoza.
And you're listening to the YTHK Talk Show. Hello everyone, I'm your host Joseph Newland. Thank you so much for tuning in to YTHK Talk Show. This is episode 2 of how we're going to be talking about stupid Karens inside this country and how they like to spread COVID because they think it's a hoax. On top of that, we're also going to check out the high crime rates in Chicago, Illinois, as some of the liberals there want to blame video games such as the Grand Theft Auto franchise by Rockstar and for the car thefts, okay? There's a skyrocket in car thefts, so let's give the microphone to my interviewee, Michael S., and see what my boy thinks in his opinion.
Alright, now my opinion about the Karens is that there's no real reason to be mad at them. You know, just because they want to talk to your manager and just because, they are talking to your manager right now doesn't mean you should be mad at them. They really didn't mean to. They just, stumbled on there by accident. I talked to them beforehand. They said they're just going to do it by accident.
We're talking about how they actually think that the virus is a hoax and not speaking to the manager, but I do like your
Well, the virus is a hoax. I don't know what you're talking about. No one believes in the virus. What's a virus? I'm just kidding. COVID is a really bad thing to deal with. It
takes other people's jobs by storm.
It does not take other people's jobs because I don't think it can work. But what it does do is it makes people sick. It didn't take their jobs, more like just emptied the seats by killing the host in the seats.
Okay, and your opinion on the skyrocketing in car thefts in Chicago, Illinois, and how they want to blame the Grand Theft Auto franchise?
Well, I think that's just because some kids want to get out of going to jail, because jail's a pretty bad place. So they just blame it on GTA because they can, and it works.
Well, probably because there's actually been a skyrocket in the GTA population as well as GTA Online. Now, I gotta say, right now, guys, blaming video games for basically stuff like theft or basically bank robberies or other crimes or whatnot is like blaming Tom and Jerry for animal abuse, if you get what I'm saying, if you catch my drift,
Well, I did start hating my dog more because of Tom and Jerry, but that's because I thought he could take it. Now he's 5 years in doggy detention. What is the next thing we'll be talking about other than, video games and GTA and stuff?
Hell, whatever we want, it's our radio station, we get to talk what we want.
Number one is your radio station, and you come up with the material, I come up with the language. Just tell me a subject, and I'll work on it.
Alright, what about, let's go back to the speaking with the managers part. I want to know more of your opinion on this speaking with the managers matter, because this stuff has been going on for a year now, right? Because I read a story on Reddit about an entitled Karen from the late 1880s.
Well, Reddit was invented in the late 1880s because 1880 didn't even have phones. It didn't even have a flip phone. It didn't even have a Nokia.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Karen in the 1880s.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, Karens, they want to speak to the manager for one reason only. That's refunding an object or getting their money back because they ate their food, but yet they didn't want to pay for their food. So they tell them the bread was stale, when in reality, it wasn't. She's just a bitch.
Sometimes they ought to just put cockroaches in the food and blame the chef for not cooking well. Now, I gotta say right now, this is a total side now. I know I'm going off a teensy little tangent. By the way, Eric.
Alright, we just got the co-producer in the show. He just walked into the studio. His name's Eric Mendoza. Let's take a hello to him.
Hello.
No, Eric.
Now, he might be part frog, part boy. Nobody knows. But let's have Joseph's opinion start back up.
So basically, I'm just gonna go on a little tangent here. Basically, a short tangent, by the way. Right,
Very short.
If a talented professional cooker. Give me the microphone. I gotta say it right now, guys. If a professional cooker actually cooks food well from you, but you don't want to pay for his hard-earned work, and you send it back, you're basically insulting the guy who cooked your food. So,
well, the thing about that is some chefs actually do a bad job. Some chefs do a bad job at cooking, but the chefs that do a good job, mistakes might happen, or the person's just trying to get out of a bill. Now, the reason why they do this is because they don't want to pay. The reason why they don't want to pay is because they're homeless, living on the streets, and have no money. Back to Joseph.
Sometimes there's single mothers that want to, speak to the manager, just like the Karen you described a couple minutes ago.
Well, the thing is with single mothers is that they have families and they need to pay their children, and money is money. I want money, you want money, but I want more money than you have. So, works like that. Now, this talk show, I think, is over, isn't it, Joseph?
Nope, because my boy, Christian here, actually wants to get in on this. Now, Christian, we're talking about Karens and how they want to speak to the manager, and how they think that the virus is a hoax, and how liberals in Chicago, Illinois, are blaming the high rise in car thefts on the Grand Theft Auto franchise. Can I have your opinion on this matter?
First of all, let's talk about COVID. COVID is actually a real thing, and it won't end if these dumbasses will not mask up and keep their distance. I mean, right now, I guess it's kind of easing down, but at the same time, there are some people at our school that chuparapito, and that's what I gotta say about COVID. And then about the car hoaxes in where? Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, in Chicago, Illinois.
My friend down there named Thomas. What's his name again? Thomas Adams. He was driving down the road, and next thing you know, he got jumped by the Ku Klux Klan, and then he died, and they took his car and they just drove it off. But sadly, the Ku Klux Klan did not go far enough because they crashed into a tree, and then some wires fell on the car, which caused the car to explode. Rip them, but they were part of the Ku Klux Klan, and they're supposed to die anyways.
All right, and I would like my microphone back. So, and before we end the before we end
the special interview.
Thank you, Michael S. My boy Michael wants to say something about the lovely friend of mine, my best friend of 5 years, behind the back of my phone, who's been locked up for more than a month for being falsely accused of something, but I'm not going to say here for obvious reasons. So tell us on this matter.
Now, you see, a matter like this happened to my best friend in California. Actually, he had an interculsion with the police, and they just happened to shoot their gun at him, and he was black. So of course, once he had the gun shot at him, he died. And now the police are in jail and he's not, and that's how you get to arrest a police officer. Now, I think that this is the end of this, YTHK talk show, and stay frosty on the ice.
Alright, guys, that was the end of YTHK Talk Show. If you want to hear more episodes, please subscribe to YTHK Music. And in episode 3, we're going to be discussing the idiot who thought, hey, why don't I just light the trees on fire and make a wildfire in California and whatnot. I don't know if it was let's say intended or non-intended, or if it was an accident or on purpose. You never know. So, basically, guys, until then,
I'm Joseph Newland, tuning out YTHK Talk Show.